One of the key aspects of cycling the Carretera Austral is planning your food and supplies properly. Not every village has a grocery store, and some stretches are long with nowhere to buy anything. You know what blows my mind? The Carretera Austral cycling route through Patagonia requires strategic food planning.
That's fascinating. Like a survival expedition through one of the world's most remote regions. How do people even begin to plan for something like that?
Well, it's this incredible puzzle of logistics. You've got these major supply points like Puerto Varas, Puerto Montt, Chaitén, and Coyhaique with actual supermarkets. But then you're looking at these vast stretches where you might not find more than a tiny shop selling basic supplies.
The way you describe it reminds me of those ancient trade routes through the Silk Road, where merchants had to carefully calculate their supplies between oases.
That's exactly right. And here's what's really interesting. Cyclists have to become experts at reading the landscape, like knowing which rivers are safe for water refills, understanding the seasonal patterns of local foods, and get this, even timing their trips around things like cherry and peach harvests in specific towns.
So, what happens when cyclists run into unexpected food challenges along the way?
Well, that's where the real adventure begins. You know, empanadas in coastal areas like Caleta la Arena are marvelous. You must try empanadas de pino or seafood empanadas. But there's this fascinating warning. Never buy those on very small places or if you see they are not very fresh. Apparently, some cyclists have lost days of their journey because they've bought empanadas from shops with low turnover. And then you've got these amazing local specialties that make it all worthwhile, like this traditional dish called curanto.
Tell me more about this Caranto. It sounds intriguing.
Oh man, it's incredible. Picture this. They dig this pit in the ground, layer it with hot stones, and then add layers of shellfish, sausages, and other ingredients. It's this ancient cooking method that's survived in these remote regions, creating this feast that's perfect after a long day of cycling.
The contrast between the high tech gear cyclists carry and these ancient cooking methods is really striking.
And that's what makes this journey so unique. You might be using your latest GPS device to navigate, but then you're gathering wild berries like myrta and maqui that local people have been harvesting for generations. It's this beautiful blend of modern adventure and traditional survival skills.
Hmm. I imagine the seasonal nature of these foods must add another layer of complexity to planning the trip.
Absolutely right. And here's something fascinating. The food actually changes dramatically as you move through different regions. You start with seafood on the coast. Then, as you move inland, you encounter these German influenced communities making wild berry kuchens. And finally, you reach the areas known for their lamb roasted over open fires.
The cultural fusion in this region seems incredible, from German pastries to traditional Patagonian cooking methods.
You know what's really cool? We always advise cyclists to carry these compact cooking kits, stove and gas. We're talking ultralight stoves and basic utensils. But they're also learning these traditional methods from locals. Like, some have learned to identify safe water sources just by looking at the surrounding vegetation.
That kind of knowledge must be invaluable when you're days away from the nearest town.
Exactly. And it's not just about survival. These cyclists are discovering that food becomes this amazing lens through which they experience the whole region. Like, you might spend one day making instant oatmeal on your camping stove, and the next day, you're sharing a traditional meal with locals who've been cooking the same way for centuries.
The whole journey sounds like this incredible mix of self reliance and cultural immersion.
That's what makes it so special. And here's something most people don't realize. The timing of your trip can completely change your experience. Like, if you time it right, you might catch the wild berry season in the southern regions or the wine harvest celebrations in certain towns.
The way you describe it, it's almost like the food becomes this thread that connects all these different aspects of the journey.
And that's exactly what makes these adventures so transformative. You're not just passing through taking photos, you're engaging with the region on this fundamental level, learning how people have survived and thrived in these remote areas for generations. It's about understanding how the landscape shapes not just what people eat, but how they live.
It really changes your perspective on what travel can be, doesn't it?
Well, that's the thing. It's not just about the destination anymore. It's about these moments of discovery, whether you're learning to purify water from a mountain stream or sharing a meal with locals. Each experience adds another layer to your understanding of this incredible region. We also suggest you try some good Chilean wine and take advantage of seasonal fruits like cherries and peaches, especially when passing through Puerto Varas, Puerto Montt, or Coyhaique. In the south, you'll find native berries like myrta, maqui, and wild blueberries, often made into jams or delicious traditional kujen. And if you get the chance, don't miss out on curanto, the traditional dish cooked underground with shellfish, sausages, and other southern flavors, or the classic lamb roasted over an open fire.